I'm on my way, or I am parked right now, and I was headed to meet my writing critique partner in a couple hours, but I was going to go write first for a little while in a coffee shop, and it got me thinking about self-care. So, self-care Sunday. But I've read a few times in the past, like 2 weeks or so, articles about, like, self-care is important, but we need to stop telling moms to do it. And I'm like, what? So, on further reading, some people say that, moms already have so much on their to-do list of things to do, and telling them that they need to do self-care too is adding just one more thing to their plate that they don't need. And if they fail at doing self-care, then they're failing at yet something else. And I don't want ever to have that impression. I mean, I have this beauty group that's about beauty and self-care, and I hope no one ever gets that impression, like, you have to do self-care. My whole thing is self-care has saved me in so many ways. And when I say self-care, I don't mean like going out and getting like manicures and pedicures, although that is a form of self-care. But as like a new mom, giving myself permission to take time for myself, even if it's only a few minutes. And it's something that I have to continuously work on. Like, for example, when I get really stressed and my anxiety is in high gear, one thing that I've been working on with my therapist is to just like give myself a break. So even if it's just me and the kids, I leave, not leave, I should say, but people are walking by and looking at me. Sorry, I got distracted. But to literally like just take a few seconds for myself, maybe go to the other room. They're playing with their toys, but just take a few minutes for myself, read a book, maybe read 2 pages, something like that. But doing something, a hobby that is specifically for me. And I know part of the problem is that sometimes it is hard to even get those like 5 minutes. And so I think that's where like these articles and these posts are coming from, is like, we already have our plates so full, and you're asking me to take time for myself when I've got one sick kid over here, I've got another kid who's teething over here, and like I have all this stuff to do, and you want me to take time for myself? It is tough. It's tough giving ourselves permission to do that. But for me personally, I have found when I take time for myself, like what I'm about to go do, I really needed this. I can't even tell you how much I needed this. And yes, I feel a little mom guilt. I feel that mom guilt. But at the same time, I know that I'm a better mom, I'm a better me when I go out and I do things for myself. Whether it be 5 minutes of reading or going out for like 2 hours to do some writing and meet a friend to talk about writing. So I hope no one ever feels like that self-care is something that that is too much on their plate. Because for me personally, it's like filling my cup. If I fill my cup with self-care, I feel better mentally, physically. And it makes the harder moments a little bit easier, if you will. So that if I know, I know this week is going to be kind of crazy I have lots of appointments this week. I've got my Friday vein thing. And so I think I'm feeling that anxiety. So it was like, I told my husband I need some time. So that is why I'm going out. I need some time. And it was recognizing that, because sometimes, and because I've been there too, I think especially after I had my second, recognizing that I needed a little bit of time to reset and fill my cup was hard for me. And it was hard, that guilt was hard for me. But once I gave myself permission to do self-care, whether it be just a couple minutes, whether it be just to sit down on the couch and ignore the dirty dishes for a few minutes and relax just for a few minutes, it can make a difference. Can make such a big difference. So that's my spiel. I know adding things to our to-do list is hard. And I know I've even said like self-care tends to fall to the bottom of my to-do list. But the more I give myself permission just to take a couple minutes for myself, or just a couple minutes, the better I feel. Hope this wasn't too all over the place. I hope it made sense. But And I will say this too. Some of these posts that I've seen talk about having a community, and that does help significantly. And some people argue, and I will agree with this completely too, is sometimes instead of telling moms that they need to do self-care, it's we need to offer more help. We need to help, when we see somebody struggling, we need to offer help. And I feel like I'm already, like, my friends have become my self-care circle too, in a way. One of my good friends from college, we've been switching off watching the kids so that we can, I go to PT, and then she has some time for herself too. And it's those self-care circles. Let's make this a thing, seriously, so that we can help each other have self-care. And not feel guilty about it, because we should not feel guilty for taking care of ourselves. That's my spiel for today. Okay, I'm going to go right. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.